What's up? What's up? Another late night workout post 4th of July. Pedal is rolling. Got some stuff on my mind, but I think I gotta gather my thoughts. Not really sure what I want to talk about. I don't remember what I wanted to talk about. But last night, this night, I was basically most of this weekend, even last week, I had some. Basically, I've been dealing with water pressure issues for like a couple weeks now. I would say about a month, to be accurate, maybe even longer. I've been kind of dealing with some water pressure issues. So, I was calling a water company. I made like water emergencies. It was like about 4 or 5 times I called the water company. They was like basically that water is fine on the outside. It's something inside. So I work with a guy that was basically work construction. His dad worked construction, and since he was a kid, he was working with his dad. He knows how to, a house inside and out. He said reduce some lines, did that, still no water pressure. So the next thing up was, okay, I got to get another water heater. So go out, go to Home Depot, get me a water heater. I thought today was like, or yesterday, I thought everything was closed because of 4th of July. Turns out now everything pretty much was open. So got a water heater, spent about $500 with my discount, get a veteran's discount. Install everything myself because basically I know how to install a water heater. I done seen my handyman do it a whole bunch of times, and I'm pretty much from working on this house, I've done a lot of plumbing. I did not know plumbing, but getting guys out, coming back and forth, my handyman, watching him, working on stuff myself, I basically learned plumbing and also gas pipe installation. So basically, I installed a water heater. It's a couple issues. I gotta get some plumbing tape, but yeah, it was working. The basically the part where it gets kind of tripped out was the water heater, brand new, it still was having the same water pressure issues. So, in closing, the problem was basically a water filter that I installed was clogged up. Okay. My problem was actually a $15 problem, actually for free, because I already had a water filter. I had another one because they came in a 2-pack. So that water issue basically cost me over $500 because I actually was like driving around looking for a used water heater. So man, I'm like driving 20 miles round trip to go find a water heater that's used. The appliance store said no, they don't have one. I went to Chicago, to the south side looking for a water heater. They didn't have none. So Man, this thing, man, you know, it really, really costs a lot of time, effort. I just think about it like, damn, I mean, the time that I spent on trying to get a water heater, finally just concluding to just get a brand new one because I couldn't find a used one. Man, I could have got so much things done, but end of the day, got a brand new water heater. I'm not gonna uninstall it and take it back to the store. Just gonna enjoy my little brand new water heater. And water pressure is great, very even better than before. But the problem was um, something totally different, and it was like a learning lesson. And it was weird because I didn't think that a water filter would clog up the line of a water line, but um, sure enough, it did. So yeah, yeah, that was pretty much how I spent most of my Fourth of July. Um, it was a lot of problems, man. I couldn't do nothing. Just about. I had to take like a, I had to take like hobo baths. Couldn't wash clothes. Had to go to the laundromat a couple times because it wasn't no water pressure to wash any clothes. So man, so I got good water pressure now. Found out what the problem was. It's just one of those things, man. When you become a homeowner and you really don't know what to do, man, it's overwhelming. It's a learning lesson, and it's like, man. Another thing is having a job, having a home. This is what I would tell anybody: having a house is kind of like having another job, whether it be part time or whatever. It's like, man, it's just so much stuff with a house. It's like as soon as you come home, a lot of times you gotta clock in. You gotta change the light bulb, you gotta change a filter, you gotta clean up, you gotta organize, you gotta throw shit out. I mean, you gotta like me, I got a freaking a whole house renovation and I'm still doing. So I'm still doing that. And it's like with renovations, you do it yourself or you pay somebody to do it for you. You got a choice. But if you do it yourself, you the one got to do it. And you got to put that time in, you got to put that effort in, and that labor in to actually do the work. And it just like, man, you wish you had the money to just pay somebody to just do it, man. Just get a team in. If you ever watch what is that show? I think it was called Fix This House or something like that, where they just get a crew and it's like they just do a whole house makeover or something like that, and it takes them like a couple weeks to do it. Man, that's what you need, man. You need a crew, a construction crew, to dedicate like a few months to fixing your house up, man. If it costs 30 grand, so be it. 40, 50, whatever it costs. You go stay in a hotel or short-term rental and get your house completely renovated. That's the way to go. That costs money. That costs, usually people use a loan for that purpose. They use that 203k rehab loan to renovate the property, get it up to code, and then they move into it. That's usually how people do it. People use cash. Some people are more skilled. Like I told the dude at work, man, I'm like, man, I wish I knew what you knew, because you would have been had this house fixed up. You probably had this house fixed up within a year versus me going in on year 3. just by him having already crews of people he can gather, him knowing how to do stuff. This house is like a, educational lesson for me because a lot of things it was like a first. I never had to install a water heater, never had to install a furnace. I never had to do a complete house rewire. Never installed the electrical, breaker box, an electrical meter. I never had to do all these things. I never, what I'm saying? Most of the time, if I lived with my parents, my mom, my dad, we lived in a house. The house was already renovated. That my mom, she was primarily the breadwinner. So she didn't like houses, even though I told her you should get a house that don't cost that much and you fix it up. She always wanted houses that were complete. She like old frame houses, but she never got a house that she had to renovate or nothing like that. I'm the only person other than like maybe other family members that work in construction. Like I got a cousin that works he's an electrician. He fixes up properties, but he know how to do it. He knows other tradesmen and stuff like that. He told me all I had to do was call him, but sometimes you don't really know how to reach people, man, or whatever. But that's all past tense. But yeah, man, it's a lot, man. It's quite a bit, I ain't gonna lie, like the ideal situation is living another place and then renovating a house. It's a totally different situation when you renovating the house and you living in it at the same time. It's just a pain. It's really like if you renovating a house and you working a job, you literally have two full-time jobs. Your first job is working in, your job. Then your second job is basically renovating your house. Because it's not like, I guess like if your house is already complete, you got a, regular standard house. Yeah, you got a part-time job. Basically you come home, you got work to do. If you got kids, you can delegate tasks. If you don't, you got to do those, or you got to pay somebody to do those. If you got like a cleaner or something like that you pay. But if you renovating a house and basically house is not complete, man, you got a full-time job and another job. Literally. Because you got work to do. And, I ain't gonna lie, if I literally did this for a full-time job that I got paid as far as renovations, I would have got fired. Cause I definitely don't be putting no hours in. Like that's the way you supposed to do it, but you're supposed to you really supposed to, when you get off work, start renovating your property. Like that's how that's supposed to go. Cause if I pretty much, like I said, if it was checks and balances, I would have been got fired because I put in work on a part-time basis at best, but full-time work is definitely needed. But yeah, sometimes you gotta stop because you need some material or something like that. But yeah, man, it's a pain and a half, but it's worth it. It's worth it. This property that, the city of Gary, the property values are going up. I only got this house for 10 grand. I put about over 30 into it so far. Not 30, not 30. No, I put about probably put about 20 grand so far at this point. I got another. Let's see, how much more do I have to put in? Probably I would say another 20 grand. Because you talking siding, roofing, gutters, basement, kitchen cabinets, kitchen, just basically kitchen, floors, uh, bathroom, fixtures, everything. Yeah. So I'm looking at about 35 to 40 grand completed. So, but my ARV for my property is about close to 100 grand. So probably even more. If prices continue to rise, or even if it's comps in an area that I can use, I might be able to sell this house for over $100,000, and I would get my money back plus more. So that's the whole motive. That's the thing to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean it's definitely not for the faint of heart, but it's really not that bad because you gotta think about it, man. I was coming home from the train and I was watching. It's this dude, you probably saw it too. It's this dude on YouTube that he's in Memphis. And I think he goes by Nate or something like that. But basically he does evictions. That's all he does. That's what his channel is. That's what his job is. He just drive around mainly Memphis and does evictions. And he videotapes it, put it on YouTube. And it's like, man, dude, like these evictions, man, he be so tripped out. These people, like, they be surprised. They always say, I paid. I mean, like all of them, like, man, I paid. And it's like, obviously you didn't pay. That's why I'm here. If you paid, I wouldn't be here. And they like giving all kind of excuses. And it's like, man, I really don't care what you say, ma'am. It's not up to me. It's with the courts and the judge. I'm here to evict. That's my job. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to gather photos, give you some time to get yourself together before my crew comes in here and we got to take all of this stuff and put it outside. And if you come back in, you'll be considered a trespasser. Now, here's the thing. That little story of what I just told you is the reason why I go through all of my challenges with this house, and I would do it again. Because that's the thing about apartments and renting. I don't like that shit. And that's one of the reasons why. Like, you can have a hard time where you just have a bad year and your whole world just crumbles. Like, you don't have anything to kind of like stabilize yourself. So, for example, let's say you got a bad year. For a good 6 months, you done had a bad year. Something happened. You lost your job, injured your leg so you couldn't work, whatever the case may be. Well, if you got an apartment or you renting, period, wherever you rent a house, townhome, it doesn't matter. So you got to pay that rent. It doesn't matter your leg messed up. It don't matter anything in your life. You got to pay them people they money. And on a basic level, that's why I choose to go through anything like extreme measures to buy real estate. Because, okay, same scenario happens. Well, if you own your real estate, you own your house. I mean, the worst that can happen is maybe you get behind on your taxes. You don't have nobody calling you talking about show up to court or anything like that. You can deal with your problems the best way you can for them 6 months, and you deal with your struggles, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? You could get out of the struggle, and then that's it. What I just told you actually happened to me. I got let go from one of my jobs in May of 2022. Man, I had a rough good about 6 months. Had like a rough 6 months, right? And then I start, you know what I'm saying? I got a job, got back on my feet, right? So it's like, man, I mean, that situation, if I was renting, I'd have lost everything I worked for and then more, because I wouldn't been able to pay that rent, and that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why I don't like rent. That's why I don't like renting. Some people be like, they like renting even if they like millionaires or whatever. I mean, that might be different, but you being a millionaire and liking paying rent is different to somebody that makes $50,000 a year. You don't speak for somebody making $50,000 a year if you a multimillionaire or you make a couple hundred grand a year and you prefer to rent. Well, that works for you because you're higher income. Somebody that makes barely 50 grand a year, that's not going to work for them. They don't have that same income, that same cash flow. So, a lot of times it's like, yeah, you can make more money, but what's easier, making more money or reducing expenses or reducing liabilities? It's easier, in my opinion, to reduce liabilities and other areas than to basically make more money. A lot of times making more money can be, increasing more sales if you're a businessman or woman, or if you're working, getting a raise or getting a second job. Those things are very difficult and a lot of times almost not possible, right? Well, you can put yourself in a situation to where you don't have any rent. Like if you live in an area where you can buy property, it might be the first 2 years might be difficult, but after 2 years, you get your house to where you can. It's three stages to a house, to home renovation, and this is from a house that's completely messed up in bad shape, needs to be rehabbed, needs to be renovated. The first stage of a house is to basically make it habitable. So this is from basically a bando. Basically make it habitable. What does that mean? What is habitable? Well, that means all mechanicals are working, or at least working in decent shape, meaning electrical, um, heating and air, meaning you have a working furnace system. If you got central air, you got an air conditioning unit, a water system, meaning you have a water heater, you have adequate plumbing, and you have a sewage system, a plumbing stack that basically goes from your toilet in your bathroom, sink in your kitchen or your laboratory or bathroom sink, all the way down to this stack into the sewage drain. So these things are what makes a house, I would say, habitable. So that would be stage one. To get a house habitable varies from how much the house costs, how much it needs for repair, and if you could do the work yourself or if you need to hire others. Obviously, those things are a factor. But once you get a house habitable, you can live in it. It doesn't have to be all pretty and nice and everything like that. You can live in the house. There you go. There goes your rent. You don't have no rent. You got a house. Okay? Stage two is you can get the house what is called rent ready. What is rent ready? Rent ready is basically a grade up from stage one, which is habitable, meaning, because like, yeah, I mean, you don't want to rent out a house when the house is under renovation, right? People seeing all kind of, like my house, like you got freaking drywall, mud, you got tape, all of that stuff. Like it's not ready, you know. Rent ready means the house is painted. It's got whatever surface you have on the floor, whether it be carpet, whether it be flooring. You don't have to put a lot of money in a house to get it rent ready. You can get used appliances. You can get used anything, like you don't have to put that much money in it. Very basic. It's a lot of people do this. Investors, real estate investors, they make houses rent ready because they don't plan on putting a lot of money into the house, because a lot of times people mess up the house and then they don't have to do that much because basically they're putting the house up for rent. So that's basically, full stop right there. They don't do anything. They take the house to being habitable, up the code, and then, rent ready, which is stage two. Now, me, I'm taking things further. I'm gonna eventually move to stage three because I am trying to sell this house for profit. So stage three is basically moving all imperfections as possible, putting brand new appliances or like new appliances, everything new, everything staged, everything basically renovated, and that's what you would call flip ready, getting a property flip ready. So that would be stage three. You want to, basically wow potential buyers. So like if they come and look at the property, they look at the photos, they want to put an offer in. They want to come look at this house. When they come look at the house, they are wild. They never seen a house this beautiful. They want to put an offer in as soon as they get ready to walk back and go to their car. That is called flip ready. And that's what I'm that's my ultimate goal, is to get to that point. You can sell a house on stage two, which is rent ready. A lot of houses are on the market, and you can tell that they're not, people didn't really do a lot to make the property, look very good. They just basically is bare minimum. The house is move-in ready, but it's not like, it doesn't have that wow factor. And you can put a house on the market that's basically rent ready. It's not recommended, but you can absolutely put a house on the market on stage two. But it's best, and most real estate investors already know the most bang for your buck is to get a property to stage three. Usually people that have the funding or the know-how to renovate the property, they already know how to get it to stage 3 relatively quickly. And they're putting the house on the market from buying the property that's abandoned, that needs a full gut, between day one to as short as 90 days to 6 months to get the property fully renovated and on the market, ready for sale. And, that's where you're a full-time real estate investor. That's all you do. You just flip properties. You might have a few rental properties for income, but when you get to that level, most people on that level, they have private funding. They use private money, and they use that for their flips. They might use a credit card. They might have a business credit card they use. But yeah, they probably flip about 2 or 3 properties a year. If it's a real busy year, they might do 4 or 5. And they have crews that they have of already established contractors that they work with. Some properties don't need much repair. You might get a property that is D or C grade condition. A D grade property is a little below rent ready, because a property being rent ready can be as low as, see, if you follow me, you already know these what I'm talking about. But if you have a property that's like C grade, that's rent ready. That's like lower tier rent ready property. Rent ready is like from C to B. So if you got a property that's in D grade, it typically has the mechanicals working already. They might be old, they might be outdated, but they have all the electrical running in the property. The lights actually work. The water works. It's a working water system in there. It's a working plumbing system in there. The furnace might be old, but it works, or it's installed. The gas pipes are there. So my property was not even in D grade condition. It was an F grade condition. It had no gas pipes, hardly whatsoever. Gas pipes needed to be installed. Furnace needed to be installed. The duct system needed repair. Electrical needed to be installed. The complete electrical system. I'm talking about from the outside in. Electrical box, meter, weatherhead. To the weatherheads are the basically what holds the electrical lines to the pole. So all of that had to be installed for the outside, had to be grounded and everything. So yeah, if you got a D grade property and you're renovating, it's just easier. The walls might be certain areas where it's the house, basically a D grade house in that condition. The walls might be, where you could keep some of the walls. You might have to demolition some of the walls to put new drywall in, but you don't have to do a complete house demolition drywall job. Like me, I had to do a complete demolition. I mean, it was already demolished. I had to install new walls. So a D grade property, you might only have to spend about $25,000, meaning you just had to do a few drywall jobs, as far as maybe some rooms needed some drywall, some priming, some taping, mudding, painting, priming and painting. So you just had to do new floors. Usually a grade D property, you got to do all of the floors again. New kitchen, new bathroom installation. Might have to install a new furnace, a new water heater. take some trash out, might have to do a roof, siding or whatever. If it's brick, to some tuck pointing, new appliances. I mean, yeah, like 20 grand versus an F grade property that you might be renovating. You might have to put like another, instead of 20, you might have to put double that, or if not triple that, to get it to where, it's decent enough to get on the market, to get to stage 3. So I know what I'm doing. I'm more of an expert when it comes to real estate. So it's beneficial that you learn this craft, if that's what you want to do. You want to be a real estate investor. That's what most of your millionaires are into. Most of your rich people, wealthy people, that's what they're into. They're into real estate. And the reason why is what I've discussed. You buy one property, I see somebody coming in and out. You buy one property, it'll change your life. Literally. You buy one property, it just takes one. One property will change your life. One property will, somebody would be like, look at Bob. Bob was living on his sister's couch, sleeping in his mom's basement. Now he got a house down by the river. He owns it, and it's all nice. Once I'm all for a showcase. Once you showcase your stuff, you got an Instagram, you got Facebook, you basically got them linked together. Man, show your investments. Show what you've been working on. Show what you have to offer to the world, right? They see that people gonna talk, and they remember Bob used to sleep in his grandma's basement, and then now you got a house down by the river that's fully renovated, and you took the initiative to buy the property. You knew Mr. Ronald. Mr. Ronald was retired, and all he wanted for his summer home down by the river was 15 grand. And you didn't have all of that, but you had about 5. And you worked it out with Mr. Ronald and say, here's 5, Mr. Ronald. I got a new job, and I'll give you $1,000 a month or $500 a month for 2 years, Mr. Ronald. And basically, once I pay you this off, you got your money. I'm gonna start working on the property, so you don't gotta worry about that. If I stop paying you, you can take the house back. And then next thing you know, you got a property. You got a property on a seller financing contract. You didn't have all of the 15, but you had at least 5, which is 1/3 of the asking price that Mr. Ronald asked. And then you just work off the other 2/3. That's also what I did. Well, just about, So you do that after about, year 2, you got a property in your name, and your life is forever changed. You'll never be Bob, the guy that lives in his grandma's basement on the couch. You're Bob that owns the property down by the river. Your life will, and you go, it's like night and day. Your life has changed. Your life will completely change if you buy property. People have no choice but to, this shit really, I'm gonna tell you where this shit goes, right? This is how deep this property shit goes. I'm gonna show you how deep this property stuff goes. This is how deep this shit goes, man. So when you get into properties, um, this doesn't kind of break it down, but basically, you this is like the British monarchy. I mean, actually not the British, but the European monarchy system. Um, basically, um, once you start getting into properties, and I know this, and I very much know this, right? Okay, this is what you get into. This is what you get into. Let me show you what you're getting into. And I know this, and other people know this as well. Okay. This is what you're getting into when you're getting into properties, when you owning multiple properties and stuff like that. Let me tell you what you're getting into. So that word vassals right there, vassals, this is what that means. I never did this. This is what this word means. I already kind of knew it, but this is what you're getting into. Okay. And this is old. This is a European monarchy system. Okay, they copied this from the Africans. Okay, you become a holder of land by feudal tenure or conditions of homage and allegiance. That's what a vassal is. So basically, you can look at it as becoming a baron. Okay, a land baron is a person that owns a lot of land, owns a lot of property on that land, right? This is the world that you get into when you get into real estate. And this is what your grandpa knew and your great grandpa, and that's what they knew. They already knew this. So that's why I say when you start thinking about being an owner of real estate, this is the world that you open yourself up to, becoming a vassal, becoming a baron. So you're on a, the barons were on a higher tier in the European monarchy system. Okay, they own land, they own, estates, cottages, um, manors, chateaus, castles. This is what this is. This is very, very deep. I play chess. I ain't changed. I ain't me getting into real estate ain't nothing different. I ain't never left. you know, I'm you know what I'm saying? I don't just talk shit. I live. I live my life accordingly. So when I speak real estate and I speak land and all that type of stuff and business, I'm not talking from no freaking peasant. I'm not talking peasant talk. So that's why I don't really probably, relate to a lot of you individuals, because I'm on something different. I'm on something on a higher level. Okay. So, that's what I'm talking about. So when I say, one property will change your life, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. My channel is, for people of a higher tier. I'm a higher tiered individual. I'm more of on the exceptional side. Okay. I've worked hard for it. I went through a lot of things in life. That's what I am. That's how I am. Okay. I'm not just some motherfucker that follows what the herd is doing. Okay. So the herd might be strong. That's why BET is the laughing stock it is today. Hopefully, I don't know if Tyler Perry has finalized the deal to buy BET. If he if he has done so, I hope that he can kind of, change it around or some shit. But the thing is that I don't care as far as what that is. I know a lot of that is to push the narrative that black people are these just ghetto, um, you know, hooligans, to the world. That's the narrative that people will try to pay to keep going, because it's all propaganda at the end of the day, and I understand that. But the thing is that um, it was a rap song. It was like basically, uh, you know, don't go for the okey doke. You know, that's what that is. That's the okey doke. That's not how things are. At the end of the day, you know, um, black people might not have a higher class or a higher exceptional class, but we do. Uh, we might. A lot of that is to push a narrative and even pay for a narrative to push propaganda that black people are these hooligans and ghetto um, clowns, And I know why they do that. I mean, it's in your best interest to do that. It's in your best interest to sign these clowns, sign these, dancing monkeys, um, to push that narrative. I mean, it's old. That's an old tactic. It's still being used today, obviously, but I mean, eventually things will die down. Things will die out. I'm not worried about that, but I understand why that is so. I understand why that is. Uh, it's a tactic. It's a propaganda tactic that is used because when I was younger, these guys, these Glorilla, Sexy Red, they would be in the food. They was in the food stamp office. That's where these people were. They were in the food stamp office waiting for their welfare stamps. That's where they were. They weren't signed to record labels. People weren't taking them serious. They didn't have any record deals. They didn't have no money. Okay. These people were in the food stamp office at best, waiting for their next welfare, upload, their stamps, their next food stamp books. That's where these people were. They were in the slow classes. They got out before everybody else did, and that's where they were. Now, these people are signed to record deals to be clowns for rich white elites that own record companies for the purposes of negative propaganda for black people, to show to the world that these are these clowns, these are the dancing monkeys that we showcase to show this is the black community. Okay, that's what that is. That's an old tactic. That's a very, very old tactic. A lot of people don't understand what propaganda is. I do. Okay, it's very, very obvious to me. Some other people, they might not understand it or care, but that's on them. But the thing is that these people, they only last, and you got to understand it though. You got to understand this propaganda, and you got to understand the power of it. The power of it is the people that's taking these people serious, that's literally listening to their music, quote unquote, bopping to their music. These are the people that's going to be getting evicted. These are the people that's not going to listen. That's going to have to they're going to get arrested because they're going to do something, because they're going to be desperate, and they're going to get locked up. These are the people that you get a van, you make room in your van, and you drive around and you go, basically see a bunch of stuff in the middle of the street or in the front of the street and get valuables, because once these people get evicted, they can't get that stuff, all of that stuff that they bought. They can't get it. So you get your van, you drive around, and you pick this shit up. Pick up these furniture items, these, what's expensive. You get the good stuff and you load your van up, go to another spot, you load your van up, and you drive away. You go to your little storage facility, and then you resell this shit on Facebook Marketplace. Okay? And you do this again and again and again and again, and you make money out of thin air. Like making money off of nothing. All you did was drive around with your van. Because this is what's going to happen. This is what is going to continue to happen. These people that listen to these clowns, they're doing clown behavior in their real life. It's literally music also to send these people off. It's send off music. So this send off music is going to send people off. You're going to lose their house, get evicted, and you drive around with your van and you pick all of this shit up that they throw out that they can't get from, once they get evicted. And you make your money off of this foolishness. That's what you do, right? That's how you do it. You go furnish one of your rental properties by driving around from other people that got evicted. You know what I'm saying? All my booty hole, my booty hole brown, my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. You drive around in your van and you pick up basically the furniture and stuff like that of these people that listen to this send off music, and it's designed to send them off, be distracted, and then you use that for your rental property. You don't have to buy hardly any furniture whatsoever, because you basically reusing rental property furniture that's getting thrown out. That's what these people do, and you would never know it. You would never know it. Okay, you would never know that this happens. A lot of that, you go to a thrift store. That's basically what that is. Thrift stores are filled with people that got stuff that's evicted. They basically reselling you merchandise for people that got evicted. Yep. Cold world. So it's a way where you can make money. Obviously, it's money to be made off of other people's foolishness. Don't get me wrong. It is a silver lining to this. And it's a sign as well. You don't want to live nowhere if you're trying to live somewhere long term and you start seeing a whole bunch of people getting evicted, that's a sign that you might want to sell your property and move, because that's not a good sign if you see a whole bunch of people stuff in the middle of the street, you know, they're getting evicted or whatever happened. That's just not, if you're thinking long term, that's one of those signs that you can tell that your property, that your neighborhood is just basically going to trash. Okay, so, because property, see, communities, neighborhoods, or cities, or whatever, they can go from being like an A grade or B grade city to just, they can downgrade. They can definitely downgrade and go backwards. I remember when I used to live in my hometown, it was like a C. It's like a C grade. And then it started going down, They moved a bunch of people from the projects, and just a bunch of, riffraff came through. Then next thing you know, man, people getting shot in the club, and, they start shutting down stores and then opening up. I can tell you how a community goes into go from being like a decent community to the hood. This is from my old channel, like an old channel. It's a couple signs. One of the signs is they start opening up a bunch of liquor stores. I literally seen this in my hometown. Like, they start opening up a bunch of liquor stores. That's one sign. Another sign is they start opening up or closing hobby shops and pet shops. Okay, I'm gonna explain why this is important. If you start seeing like a hobby shop and a pet shop close up, this is what this means. If you see this is what this means. That, okay, a hobby shop and a pet shop is basically designed. You probably never really thought this deep about things or whatever, or thought this deep about it. But in order to have a hobby or even a pet, a lot of people don't know this, but you need disposable income to have a hobby or a pet. Because a pet is kind of like a hobby. Having a pet is literally a hobby. Nobody really talks about this shit or breaks this shit down to you. But having a pet and having hobbies, it takes disposable income. So once you start seeing pet shops and hobby shops close, that's a sneaky sign that nobody really understands hardly. But I'm going to tell you that it is a sign that your neighborhood is going downwards. Another sign is, believe it or not, okay, I know people are religious. They ain't gonna like this. But when you start seeing a bunch of small churches start opening up, I'm talking about like retail churches, like basically the church is like they opening up a church where it used to be a dental office, or it used to be a nail shop, and then they start opening up all these churches. That's a sign that your neighborhood is going downward, like it's turning into the ghetto. Because you don't need all of these small churches and all of this type of stuff. Mainly, one of the things I could tell you about a grade B and a grade A neighborhood is most of these neighborhoods, like for example, the neighborhood that they filmed Home Alone in, the movie Home Alone, they have old churches that was there 100 years, 50 years, 75 years, right? And they might have in a whole town or city 3 or 4 churches. They don't have, I can take you to the west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago, and they got all these churches. They got a church, like they got churches like one on each corner. That's a sign. I seen it. I literally, like, all these churches, you will believe that it doesn't make sense. Like you can never have enough churches, right? That, it's just God is great, right? No, you don't need all these churches. Basically, I can tell you is that you got all of these churches mean you got people opening up, trying to collect money. All of these, like, Cadillac preachers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Opening up shop. That's not a good sign. Not a good sign. So, yeah, I mean, those are the top three things that I can think of. I don't remember all of them, but those are definitely three. Another thing I can say is you know what I'm saying, they start closing major stores down. Like, you can't shop in the city you live in anymore. You got to go to another city to get goods and services, because like all your city has is barbershops and beauty salons. That's another sign right there. Okay. So I know how this stuff works, right? So that's a tip for you. If you don't believe me, you'll live it and you'll see it and you'll be like, damn, this dude told me that this is what's gonna happen. It's almost textbook, So yeah, those are the signs. Yeah, so we're an hour in, got a good burn coming in. You know, I did kind of overdo it. I ate quite a bit. I will say that it was kind of difficult to work out, and I really wasn't able to take a good shower. So I ain't gonna lie, like I was kind of like, damn, I gotta go work out again. Shit, the hell, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go work out again. Damn, I ain't even able to take a shower and shit. But now I got that resolved, so I'm decent. You know what I'm saying? I can take full. I got better pressure than I've had before, because I listened to my coworker. He said reduce the water lines down from 3/4 inch to about a 1/2 inch. So I got full pressure. In case you didn't know, water pressure works best when you have reduced lines, not big lines. Like if you got a 1-inch pipe, water is gonna go in a certain particular flow. So if you go from 1 inch to, let's say, a 1/4 inch, it's like water going down a small pathway. It's going to crunch and it's going to form an intense pressure from that restriction. So that's how you get water pressure. It goes. You reduce your pipes. Okay, so yeah, we're an hour in on this thing. My bike, in case you didn't know, I'm on a Proform. My exercise bike is called Proform. That's the company. I got this bike, I think like less than $50 at Goodwill. I don't remember the exact price, but it was well worth it. The other bike I had, I bought it off of Facebook Marketplace for like $50 somewhere, like in Calumet City, like near the woods. The bike pedals broke off, and I was like, damn, what the hell? So this bike, it folds up. It has weights you can carry. It has a weight rack on it, so you can like work your weights out while you on a bike or whatever. So yeah, this thing it's worth. I got my money's worth out of it, more than whatever I paid for it. I could have paid $100 for it and I got my money's worth off of it, or even 1,000. They have bikes that have all kind of stuff. They got like bikes where you can do like a bike like workout where it's a whole bunch of people that you can see on the screen and y'all virtually are in a bike-a-thon, or how you go to a club and then they have a whole room and it's nothing but workout bikes. It could be like that inside your home, and you can watch sports. You can watch Netflix while you're on the bike. You can talk to your friends on Facebook. I mean, it has Wi-Fi and everything like that. They have bikes that they like $700-800, $1,000, and they have all of these features and stuff like that. If you got it like that, boom, get that bike. I might get me one. I can probably go live on my bike on my tablet or on the on the actual bike. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's worth it, because what's worth your health? Ask yourself that. What's worth you being healthier, stronger, faster, mentally, strong, all of that? What's worth that? Like, it's worth its weight in gold. So if you got the means to buy that, whatever bike, if you want to buy, what's that bike company? I forgot the name of it. I talked about it. I don't remember, but whatever the newest, hippest bike with the best technology and all of that, man, I say get it. I don't care. Like, when it comes to health, man, get that motherfucking bike. If you balling like that, and you can spend $1,000 on a bike or $500, man, go get that shit. Cause it's gonna pay for itself by you utilizing it and becoming healthier. I mean, when you become healthier, you become wealthier. You know what I'm saying? So, me, man, I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more thorough. Shit, I'm getting stronger like a motherfucker on this goddamn bike. And this all I do. I don't really, I'm supposed to be doing some push-ups and shit. I gotta get myself together on that. But I gotta get a lot of stuff done. This water heater issue, it was like taking a lot of time out of me and thoughts and everything like that. Very, very, very uncomfortable, because I've had water for a while. At one time, I didn't have any working water, and I had like a gym membership. Used to go to like LA Fitness to take a shower and stuff like that. It's like I don't have all of that, so yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable, but yeah, man. Yeah, I say, man, if you got the means, man, get a bike, get the best bike that you want, get the best bike you can get. I mean, I just went on. If I didn't find one at Goodwill, I would have found one on Facebook Marketplace or something, or Craigslist or whatever, and I would have got on it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people live in neighborhoods where it's kind of like, man, they don't really feel comfortable biking. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't really want to be biking in Gary, Indiana like that. I'm just being honest with you. When I used to live in Zion, Illinois, I used to bike a lot, Shit, I was biking all over the place. Well, it's a story behind that, but yeah, man. I mean, you can bike in certain neighborhoods, and you know what I'm saying, you can get your little workout in. But certain neighborhoods, man, you might not want to be biking or running and shit like that, So, this is very, very good to work out, at your convenience. And depending on where you live, probably don't want to be out 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning riding no goddamn bike or running down the street. Especially, if you are a particular hue, if you get what I mean. And you're not in Africa. But yeah, this is very, very convenient. Very, 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 very convenient. Very good. I enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it. You get stronger. You feel good. You know what I'm saying? Your blood is flowing. You know what I'm saying? That's the hallmark of success, ladies and gentlemen. The hallmark of success. So yeah. Get you a bike, man. You know what I'm saying? It should be at this point, it should be a fucking YouTube a bike live stream. A bunch of people on the exercise bike, like biking and talking at the same time. Because we need that. Like, there's so many people just out of shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a little break real quick. So many people out of shape and walking around like roly-poly man and shit. It's like you gotta do something, man. Get off that computer and fucking do some goddamn fucking exercise. Go on a fucking diet, fast, do something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a fat ass and you know it. You see it. You see yourself in the mirror. You can't hide it. Being a fat ass, I'm going to tell you something. You can't hide being a fat ass. Everybody know you're a fat ass. You know you're a fat ass. You keep eating. At lunchtime, everybody see, oh, what is this dude about to eat 2 plates? I mean, that's just, I ain't gonna lie, like, it was some dude, I think he's a multi-millionaire. He's one of he's a successful e-commerce guy. A kind of ghetto dude, but very smart guy, humble dude. He the dude that got like face tattoos all on his face. And he was selling like family board game. I think his name is like I think it's Daryl or Darius or something like that. He said something that I never forget. I will never forget. He said he stopped buying clothes because he didn't like himself in his own clothes because he was so fat. He was like, man, I don't even want these clothes, because like at the end of the day, these some big ass clothes. I don't like how I look in these clothes. Why am I buying clothes? I want to use the money to lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? So that's a positive. That's the right frame of mind. You got like a lot of people. You get this from women too. They just keep buying clothes. Like, they look good. You got some fat women that look good, man. But at the end of the day, it's like, damn, yeah, you all right in that little tight dress with your ass sticking out, big ass titties. But at the end of the day, you still fat. You look good, I give it to you, but you still fat. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, you still fat. Somebody gonna have sex with you still, but I mean, at the end of the day, you still fat, right? So, yeah, man. That's the deal, That's the truth. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna play a little commercial, and I'm gonna be right back after these messages. Come check out owlsherbs.com, where we have all of your herbal needs and different variety of products from sea moss to black seed oil and a different variety of products for different health issues, because your health is your wealth. Yep. So yeah, your health is your wealth. That's why health is pretty much before money and wealth and riches and all of that. And part of your health is your overall mental health. Having your mind right. A lot of people, they miss that part. So it's kind of like your mind, body, and soul, right? Let's talk about the three peridians: mind, body, and soul, right? So your mind, right? If your mind is messed up, your body is still there, but you're mentally messed up. You got a lot of people that they're mentally ill, but they're trying to like keep alpha. It's kind of like they're trying to alpha their way through life, and they're completely mentally ill, and their body is there. Um, their soul is there, but it's almost like some demon taking over their body. They're robbing them of their mind, of their mental fortitude, and it's like they got their soul and their body captured. So if your mind is messed up, then it kind of messes up your body and your soul. Because see, this is why people self-medicate. They taking these Percocets and these like pills. They're popping pills, and these pills, they don't know what's in these pills, man. They got people, man, getting busted for pressing pills, buying pill press machines and shit. They're putting all kind of stuff in these pills, man. You think you getting a perk, right? But you really getting some perks mixed with some fentanyl, mixed with some MDMA and all kind of shit. And then you're just fucked up. You take a half a pill, and you're fucked up, and you've been drinking, and then next thing you know, you got damn foaming at the mouth, and your friends got to call. They got to drop you off at the emergency room, and then you don't make it because you done got something that you ain't even know what you was getting, because you trying to self-medicate yourself because you can't sleep, whatever the case may be. And you know what I'm saying, having a good time, you young, you getting high, and you popping pills, right? So you popping pills because your mind is fucked up and you don't know how to, deal with this. And then that next thing you know, your body is fucked up. And you robbed, the devil that took your soul away for a pill, for a half a pill, and you dead. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you got to deal with the mind. What is the mind? Your mind is your consciousness. What your mind tells you what the problem is. Okay, I can't sleep. Okay, so if you can't sleep, why is it? Okay, is your clock off? Is it something troubling you? What's the problem? A lot of times it's because of what you're eating is what is affecting you. So I know for example, I know I need to start probably fasting. Okay, why do I say that? Because I know I need to reset my body. Fasting does that. I know I need to reset my diet as well. Fasting helps with that. fasting also helps you get your body back to in rhythm. Okay, your sleep and rhythm. You don't really even need that much sleep when you go from a high meat diet to a high vegetable, fruit and berry, nuts and stuff like that diet. You don't need that much sleep. The body doesn't need that much sleep when you go from a meat diet to a vegan diet. Here's the thing, here's the bomb drop, right? When you go from eating fruits and vegetables and nuts and berries to meat, or even just eating meat, you know what you're eating? You know what meat is? You're eating death. That's why you get tired. That's why most people that walk around sleepy and tired, they're meat eaters because they're eating death. That's what meat is, death. Yeah, I'm still. This is a black pill channel. I talk about what's real. I don't talk about nothing but that. This channel is very very dark to the point, keeping it real. I'm not playing around with you. I'm not your father. I'm not your uncle. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you about nothing. I don't have no reason to lie to you. I'm not gonna waste my time or anybody else's time and tell you some bullshit. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and you can take it or you can run from it. But you can't deny it. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing different. They ain't gonna comment on my video. They ain't gonna even come on this chat and tell me nothing different because they already know. You can't defute that or refute it. It is true. That's why another reason is why people walking around so big, looking like what they eating. You know what they eating? They eating cows and bulls. What? How do you think? Have you ever seen a cow or a bull in person? It's pretty big, ain't it? That's why you look big. And if you eating pigs are also big as hell too, right? That's why you're big is a fucking house. Because we eating all of these fucking big ass fucking herbivores. I mean, that's why the fuck we're so big. You never thought of that? Nobody told you that? Yeah. I mean, newsflash. Yeah, it's addictive. Some people struggle with that. Other people don't. But going from a meat diet to a vegetarian diet, but it is you. That's what you're taking in. Big ass cows, big ass fucking pigs and shit. And if you eat lamb, you ever seen the nuts of a fucking goat or a lamb? It's fucking big as hell. So yeah, man. The thing is I say all of that to say it's a reason why your mind is fucked up. Um, in getting to that reason, you might have to go for a fast to figure out what's going on. You might have to go for a fast. That might be what's needed, you know. So I know for a fact that if I do what I'm doing now and I also go start a fast, I would have maximum results. And I struggle with that, and sometimes I forget I need to commit to doing a fast, because if I exercise and go on a fast, instead of losing weight, it'll be like rapid weight loss, extremely rapid weight loss. And I probably will exercise more as well. I'm definitely going to exercise more because definitely got my water working excellent. So yeah, don't have to worry about that. So yeah, you probably gonna see me a lot more. But the thing is that yeah, that is how that works. You go into what is called rapid ketosis. Rapid ketosis is your body is in extreme ketosis mode, meaning your metabolism is working rapidly, and you're burning a lot of calories, and if you're not taking in a lot of calories, then you basically you have no choice but to go into what is called rapid weight loss. So yeah, your mind, your body, all of these things, if one is fucked up, then the other's fucked up. If your body's fucked up, your soul's fucked up, your mind is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You walking around big as a house, big as a cow, your mind and your body, your mind and your soul is fucked up. All of these have to be like smooth, like circular motions. They have to all flow, your mind, body, and soul. Your soul's fucked up, meaning listen to these degenerate music. You listen to all this degenerate music and these fucked up ass wavelengths from the radio. You got fucked up people surrounding you. You're, what I'm saying, listening to all different types of people is, just driving you crazy. That messes your soul up. Drinking poisons and popping pills and all that stuff mess your soul, robs your soul. Smoking cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit mess your soul up, man. Dealing with different people, wasting your energy, wasting your seed. Yeah, that stuff, man, messes with your soul, man. Then your body and your mind goes to the toilet. So, yeah, this is, all of this is out of, you trying to better yourself, definitely, trying to better yourself, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, so, so you can have a better life, you know what I'm saying? So this chart here is like kind of like, it kind of goes into the Maslow's theory of needs, but it kind of breaks it down. It breaks it down more, kind of goes into it a little bit more, So a lot of times when a lot of people are on survival mode. If you don't get anything from this, if you notice, a lot of people that you might be talking to, they might not tell you, but if you put two and two together, you can figure it out. When people are struggling to pay rent, if they talking about they having problems paying bills, they're on survival mode. They're struggling with survival mode. They're having problems working out. Even that is the same thing. They can't work out. They can't put time together to drop down and do 10 push-ups. They're telling you they're on survival mode. People will tell you these things and you don't put it together, and you can see people, if you see, I had somebody drive on my, they parked on my driveway. And when I saw the dude going to his car, I'm like, dude, did you drive? You got me backed in my driveway, and I can't move my cars, man. And do you know how this dude looked? He looked like a big cow. That's how he looked. And when I drove off, I said, this dude don't care about nobody else, and he don't even care about himself, because that's how he looks. You know, that's why he act the way he does. So when you see people like this, man, they are on survival mode. Okay, so they're struggling with survival mode. So this is what I'm talking about. This goes into your mind, body, and your soul. What I'm talking about. This is what I'm trying to tell you. They're on survival mode and they're struggling. Okay, so of course they have problems with relationships. These are the type of people that the people who are in survival mode. They get in relationships out of a survival mode. These are the dudes that will take any type of woman. They'll take any woman they can get because they're coming from a survival mode mentality. This explains why even people don't understand why rich dudes, they get like an NBA contract, they get, instant riches, they sign a record deal, and they get these loser type chicks. It's because they've been stuck in survival mode their whole life. They just start getting money, but they're used to being in survival mode, and that's what they're used to. They're used to getting anything they can get, So getting a relationship, getting a woman, they get the most bottom tier women because this is what they're used to being operating on, and they're used to operating in survival mode. They haven't got to level 3, which is positive self-esteem, okay, knowing who you are, being the best, having security, competence, productivity, efficiency. They haven't got to that level yet. They got the money, and then they could possibly understand being at that level, but they still trying to work their way out. They trying to work themselves out. And getting to level 4, which is autonomy, accountability, freedom, courage, responsibility, innovation. I mean, a lot of these guys, they never even get to that point because they've been stuck in survival mode their whole life. They get some chick, and the chick basically blocks them. They have to, recover and recuperate, and then get their life together, and then gradually, if they're lucky, they can get to level 4 or higher. But this is how that works. This is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I've pretty much I've talked enough, and I'm getting ready to hit the shower, and I gotta go to work, in a few hours. So hopefully you got something from this workout, and definitely like, share, subscribe, support the channel, hit the Cashapp. Your support is greatly appreciated, and have a good rest of the week.